What's up, YouTube? Here I go. This is King Monyay. I'm the leader and the captain of my destiny. I do believe I will succeed, so therefore I do. And I was sent to inspire folks who are great and sometimes tend to forget. Yeah, so what's going on? Waking up, starting another day, man. Just happy to be free. Happy to be free. Having nightmares and visions of the parole coming in, trying to snatch my freedom away. I have those fears, and even though I don't try to put them out into the atmosphere, and I try to remain positive, so them fears are here. I have those fears because I have those experiences. Uh, just thinking about everything that I've been through, and making sure that sometimes or all the time I'm learning from those experiences. One of the things that like I say, I'm a writer, but what it took to write in prison, to try to write, to try to create a book, I had a lot of time, but I also had a lot of obstacles, just like life. So it prepared me for the things I would deal with out here in the world. Um, and I was just looking at one of my journal entries, and it said, everything, unfortunately, must end or begin with money. The almighty dollar is the cause of all sorts of corruption. The prison population has adopted this creed, and everything must benefit self first and foremost, and then it's fuck everyone else. It's all about the hustle. So what takes place in the law library is no exception. The law library is the library in prison where you can basically go study law cases, go study things of that nature, and you could also use the typewriters. The typewriters are available for inmates to use, but there is always a shortage of typing supplies. I notice each clerk has a personal typewriter at their desk, which indicate they also are in demand of typewriter material. So they got typewriters, but they don't got typewriter materials. Um, and this I'm speaking was an issue when I was on a lower level, level 2 yard. Uh, you wasn't allowed to have typewriters, personal typewriters, so we had to depend upon typewriters inside the law library. But the typewriters in the law library didn't have the supplies. They wasn't provide. Well, they did have supplies, but there was always a shortage of them. Um, so they used the correction tape for their hustle, which is usually legal work for other inmates for a price. And I know some of y'all thinking a typewriter, why they don't got computers? No, they got typewriters. They still using typewriters. Ain't no computers, ain't no internet, nothing like that. If you got a connection, somebody, and if you got money, you can buy a phone for maybe about $2,000, sometimes 5,000, depending where you at. Uh, Now they use the correction tape for their hustle, which is usually legal work for other inmates for a price. Now this is not wrong or criminal. The part is wrong that when there is a shortage of supplies due to the clerks stealing or monopolizing all the typing material, preventing other inmates from progressing in their personal endeavors. If there is no ink cartridges, one cannot type. If there is no correction tape, one is forced to type careful and not make a mistake. I had to type my manuscript for my books. I had to learn to type and not make mistakes because there was no correction tape. And if I made a mistake, it would ruin the whole sentence. It'll ruin the whole page. Now, the worst tactic of all is when the typewriters have the letters removed or switched to cause you to make errors. That's right. And I know that sounds crazy, but the letters on the keyboards would be completely erased off on certain letters, or it would be the wrong letter will be written on there. So after a while, the letters will come off from typing, too much typing. So they would have to put the letters on there, and sometimes they put the wrong letter. So instead of doing you typing, you thinking it's A, it's really a F. Stuff like that. So I went through all these obstacles, trying to learn how the computer operates, the typewriter operates. And these are prison obstacles. These were things that I'd have to deal with in prison. When the need of self is bigger than the needs of others. When the need of self is bigger than the needs of others. Sometimes, like I said, we become obstacles to one another. We put our needs before everyone else's. We think that we got to hustle. What they was doing to me in there, them clerks, them fellow black men, those fellow inmates, they were looking out for themselves. They were stealing all the correction tape. They were stealing all the ink cartridges, making sure they had the good typewriters, right? Because they wanted to make sure they had a hustle. Their hustle was typing up people's writs so they can go back to court. And I get it. That was how they survived in prison. That's how they're going to survive. And most of them guys had life. That the ones who was doing this had life, which means they'll never get out. So there was a sense of entitlement in their mind, like they was entitled to that shit. Like, this is mine. This is this is how I live. This is my job. This is my, and a feeling of you can do yours when you get out. You got a date. It was that type of attitude. But I think if they would have had a different attitude of, let me do everything I can to assist this brother, because by me helping this brother is going to help shed light on my conditions, and this brother is actually going to help bring me home. See, they didn't have that mentality. If they didn't understand that our dreams and our goals were connected, it was more than me just getting out. I'm getting out. I was going to get out, and I was going to help them. Had they seen it that way, had they known, but they didn't know, because all they was concerned about at that time was their hustle. And we could apply that in today's everyday life. Sometimes we don't see how other people actually can benefit us or working for our benefit. And so we become obstacles to them. We do things that can maybe slow down the progress of others. And when in return we slow down the progress of humanity, of the world becoming a better place. Some of them dudes, they would see me coming to the library every day. Rain, no matter if it was raining, no matter if it was, canteen day, I would show up in that library. I don't care how many people were, I would get on that line to try to type. To try to progress towards working toward my dream and my goal of completing my book. This book is a self-help book. This book talks about more than just drugs and mental illness and pimping hoes. This book talks about mental wellness. It talks about life challenges and how to overcome them. Talks about relationships. And so all of that stuff I learned valuable lessons from. All of that stuff I learned how to deal with inside of those walls, and it enables me to deal with society outside these walls and look at things from a different perspective. Because there's some real value, some jewels in that story as far as when you think about it, that I had to type with a typewriter. The typewriter had no letters on it at times, and at times it had the wrong letters. The typewriter oftentimes had no ink in it, and at other times when it had ink, it had no correction tape. I was forced to learn how to type. I was forced to be observant. I was forced to remain consistent every day. Had to come in there, I don't care if it's just to type a sentence. And right before I paroled, one of the dudes that worked in the library, he finally asked me, he said, "Hey man, you know, I have a publishing company, I can help you. You know, I see you coming here every day. You've been coming in here every day for 3 months, man. I can help you." And what happened was, he seen my consistency, he seen my dedication, and he seen that I had the qualities of what it takes to succeed. I knew what they was doing. I knew that they was taking the stuff for their hustle. I also knew that it was slowing me down. But I carried on anyway. I pushed through. And when they seen that I was remaining dedicated to my dreams and how serious I was, he wanted to be a part of my success. He wanted to be a part of it and say, "Yeah, man, I can help you. I can publish it." You know, and this and that. And I said, "Nah, I'm going to continue to do it this way. I'm going to continue to publish it myself." And the reason was not because I didn't need his help, but the reason was because I believe he was doing it from insincere motives, you know. So you never know who you're around. You treat everybody with respect, you know, because you never know how you're going to need that next person, who that person is, and you never know how that person is going to be that missing link to helping you. That same person you maybe put down or look down upon will be that same person later on in life who will be that obstacle to prevent you from getting that promotion on that job. They'll be that same person who prevents you from going to the next level. So that's something to think about, man. Treat everybody with respect. Be kind to everybody. Help others instead of trying to put those down. And don't be so selfish and think that your needs overrides the needs of everybody else around you. Hey, I'm King Monyay. I was sent here to inspire those who are great and sometimes tend to forget. If you're not part of the Monyay tribe, go ahead and click the subscribe button. It's free. It won't hurt you. And I promise it's for a good reason. So hit the subscribe, become part of the Monyay tribe. Hit the like button, smash the likes. Everybody give me a thumbs up. And we're going to keep on doing this thing. You have a blessed day. Be easy. And as always, you can make the right decision and turn this thing around.